Good morning, everyone. It is time for First Alert Weather Extra, and we are going to be talking about some, very hot, dangerously hot air that is going to be with us for several more days. So the worst of it peaking today and tomorrow. So here we go. First Alert Weather days, today, tomorrow, Wednesday. Dangerously hot and humid. Talk about record heat combined with the humidity. Those dew points swell into the 70s. Woo! It's going to create that feel, the heat index of 100, 110 degrees. So it makes it very challenging for your body to cool off in those kind of conditions. So certainly the risk for heat-related illnesses increases with these kind of conditions we're expecting. Now, heat warning, extreme heat warning for most of the state today and tomorrow. A northwest or southeast, maybe little hints of relief, but generally we're all taking the necessary precautions. But in terms of our temperature trend going forward, obviously today is very hot. Tomorrow's off the 100-degree scale. Very hot Wednesday, and then finally some relief towards the end of the week. In terms of our dew point trend, today it's oppressive. Tomorrow it's oppressive. Wednesday it's still borderline oppressive. It's muggy out there. And then we finally start to see that comfortable air building in towards the end of the week before the dew point spikes back upwards again. As we take a look at the heat index, we're combining the heat and humidity today, tomorrow, and then coming down a little bit, but still very rough on our body on Wednesday. So the next 2 days, the worst of the heat, the feels like trend. Look at that. Already by 9 o'clock, it's going to be feeling in the upper 80s, both inland and at the shoreline. So strenuous activities, you do them before 10 o'clock in the morning, before it gets really dangerously hot. So here we go. 94 the feel by 10 o'clock in the morning inland. Notice it takes until like 1 p.m. to feel that hot along the shoreline. So that's where you'll want to go if you want a little relief from the heat. But if you don't have the choice and you're going to be in the hottest air, well, it's going to feel like it's in the lower 100s starting at noon today and then intensifying throughout the afternoon. Look at that. How many hours if you're out in that heat? Oh, it is rough. So you're finding shady spots, but that's how it's going to feel in the shade. But certainly being under that sunshine is going to be even worse for you. So rough feeling air. We have the heat wave is on. We hit 92 yesterday. All we need is 90 degrees or greater for 3 consecutive days for it to be called a heat wave. That's a New England thing. Other places, they average highs in the 90s. So yeah, they don't have that kind of heat wave. But for us, we're talking about it a pretty extreme heat wave because it's 100 for today. It's 101 tomorrow, 95 Wednesday. We're forecasting, and all those are records with the stars next to it. So we're forecasting record highs the next 3 days. It'll come very close to it. Whether you hit 100 or it's 98, it is going to be brutal out there today. Now, with that sea breeze, the shoreline counties won't be quite as hot. And today we hit 100. Well, it will mark the third time in the month of June, but it would be the earliest in the month of June we would hit 100 degrees. So yeah, this has only happened a couple of times and could make it number 3 today. And speaking of three more days of this brutal heat, the worst of it today and tomorrow, and then 95 for the high, feeling hotter Wednesday. Here comes the front, sparking some showers and storms late in the day Wednesday. There's a low-end rest for a strong wind-producing storm. And the coverage is kind of a little bit up in the air, from not a whole lot to scattered, if you believe the European model versus the global model. But in terms of our high-resolution data, we'll have to wait a little later to get another better idea. One of the high-resolution models was not very impressive, so we will see what happens there. Nonetheless, whether we get rain or not, that's more of a impacts certainly outdoor plans if there is rain and storms. But either way, we're going to get some cooler weather to end the week, whether we get rain or not. But certainly have to water any of those droopy plants almost on a daily basis with this heat around. As we take a look at the air quality alert that's actually in effect, that continues through 11 o'clock tonight. So it's elevated ground level ozone across our shoreline counties. Who does this impact? Anyone like asthma, any breathing issues? Another reason to stay inside. But if you're going to be outside, well, pool, obviously, that's like ideal. A splash pad, a hose, a sprinkler, anything like that. Throw water on yourself. It is going to certainly help cool you off. Now, down towards the shoreline, the temperatures won't be as extreme today. As we take a look at the beach forecast, it really depends upon where you're heading along the shoreline, if that's part of your way of cooling off, taking a dip in the Sound. 84 Mystic, but then you get over towards Brantford westward, it's going to be toasty there. So not everyone is going to have that sea breeze effect. And in terms of our pollen count, it's going to be moderate today, tomorrow, and moderate high by Wednesday. All right, so this weekend we had a little bit of rain yesterday morning, so 17 weekends in a row that we've had at least some form of rain or precipitation, seeing it was a little bit of snow for the weekend of February. I can't believe we're going back to February. Insane. All right, 6 to 10 day rain outlook, leaning a little wetter than average. Same goes for 8-14. The 6 to 10 day outlook still leaning above average, but then it starts to kind of back off a little bit, not as extreme, pointing in that direction. So just like notable dates, we talked about average high, April, May, June, so our average high is now in the low 80s. Now, our warmest average high usually occurs during the month of July from the 13th to the 24th, and that's a high of 86. So we're going to be smashing what's, even above what our normal is, even at the hottest time of the year, which is in July. So here are our normals: 60 for a low, 82 for a high. We're going to be, again, blowing these out of the water for quite some time. Overnight lows in the mid and upper 70s. That's air. This looks like a forecast from Birmingham, Alabama, where I once worked, the next few days. The beauty of the Northeast, though, we do get cold fronts, so thank goodness. Would love it to come a little sooner, but here we go. We got 3 more days with this brutal heat and humidity, then a few showers and storms possible Wednesday, then kind of isolated it with the ridge. The big high-pressure system is breaking down, so you get these little ridge runners, little storms that can ride along it, but certainly with that ridge breaking down, it allows some of that cooler air, lower humidity, drier air to build in. So look at those overnight lows. It's going to feel so refreshing with low to mid 60s. Even if those numbers are above average, you go from 70s to near 80 for overnight lows, which is very dangerous because, you think, I'm going to open up the window at night, it's going to cool off. No, it's not going to cool off enough, especially with the mugginess and everything. Unless you got a humidifier going like crazy, you're never going to be able to keep up with it and have that air feel refreshing. But nonetheless, here we go. Isolated storms, even a part of Saturday's forecast. Could be 18 weekends in a row with that, and a little bit of rain. So Sunday looks to be the drier of the 2 days as of right now. If you want a completely dry day, Sunday looks to be the drier of the 2 days. But yeah, we're looking ahead towards the cooler weather towards the end of the week and lingering into the weekend. But yeah, brutal heat the next couple of days, next few days before we finally get some relief in here. So take it easy. You know the drill, and keep an eye on your pets, the kids, and the elderly too. Sometimes, they're just unaware just of how, dangerous it can be. So drink water, and don't melt too much out there. I know it's sweaty weather. Not a fan of it, but here it is. We're all dealing with it together. All right, that's your latest First Alert Weather Expert. Definitely tune in tonight at 9:30. We'll have another in-depth look at your forecast to help you plan out your week. And yeah, stay cool, everyone.